Welcome back, everyone. Right off the bat, we're looking at the team preview. The opponent leads with Grimmsnarl and Milotic, while I open with Garchomp alongside Farigiraf. I lock in Protect on Garchomp to keep it completely safe while letting Farigiraf fire off a Dazzling Gleam. The read plays out perfectly. Both Milotic's Ice Beam and Grimmsnarl's Spirit Break crash into Garchomp's Protect Shield with zero effect, while Farigiraf lands clean spread damage across both opponents, with Grimmsnarl taking super effective Fairy Chip. Knowing Garchomp will remain the opponent's primary target, I can't leave it in the crosshairs. My strategic pivot here is to hard switch Garchomp out and send in my defensive anchor, my Poison Saintess, Toxapex, to easily soak up water and ice type moves. Grimmsnarl attempts to catch us off guard with a priority Sucker Punch, but this is where Farigiraf's ability, Armor Tail, completely dismantles their game plan. Milotic's Ice Beam lands on Toxapex for negligible chip damage thanks to its natural bulk and typing. Farigiraf capitalizes by dropping another Dazzling Gleam, chipping Grimmsnarl further into the red, while Toxapex and Milotic restore a sliver of health via leftovers. On turn 3, the opponent pulls Grimmsnarl back and brings in Archaludon. Milotic targets Farigiraf with an Ice Beam, but Farigiraf answers with yet another Dazzling Gleam. Although this triggers Archaludon's stamina ability, boosting its physical defense, it plays right into my overarching plan. I'm not here to break Archaludon with raw physical hits. I'm here to wear them down with residual status damage. Toxapex fires off a direct Toxic onto Milotic, setting the death timer on their primary special tank. Turn 4, Archaludon connects a heavy Dragon Pulse on Farigiraf, and Milotic follows up with Scald. Farigiraf shows incredible resilience by hanging on with just 9 HP. It manages to fire off an Expanding Force into Milotic before Toxapex makes its next strategic move. Trapping Archaludon with Infestation. Stamina raises Archaludon's defense again, but Infestation's fixed percentage chip and trap mechanic completely bypass raw stat boosts. Turn 5 opens with Archaludon targeting Toxapex with Dragon Pulse, while Milotic's Icy Wind finally knocks out Farigiraf and drops Toxapex's speed, an irrelevant stat drop for a dedicated staller. Toxapex uses Hex, dealing double damage into Archaludon because of its status affliction, forcing Archaludon to pop its Citrus Berry. With Farigiraf down, I bring in Basculegion to apply immediate offensive pressure. Expecting Basculegion's heavy ghost hits, the opponent withdraws Milotic on turn 6 and sends in Glimmora. Anticipating double targeting onto Toxapex, I click Baneful Bunker to stall a turn of leftovers recovery. Basculegion unleashes a monstrous Last Respects, instantly chunking Glimmora down to 18% health. However, Glimmora's Toxic Debris ability scatters toxic spikes onto my side of the field, a tactical hazard that will pose a serious threat to Garchomp later. Turn 7. Glimmora uses Spiky Shield to protect itself, blocking Basculegion's follow-up Last Respects. Archaludon lands a Dragon Pulse onto Basculegion, while Toxapex chips Archaludon down to 37% HP with Hex. On turn 8, I make the calculated call to keep Basculegion in to finish off Glimmora for good. Basculegion scores the KO with Last Respects. But Archaludon immediately trades back, knocking out Basculegion with Dragon Pulse. Infestation leaves Archaludon clinging to life in the deep red. Turn 9 brings Grimmsnarl back for the opponent, and I send out Garchomp. As feared, Garchomp immediately gets badly poisoned by the toxic spikes. Here is where I make a critical tactical miscalculation. I set up Baneful Bunker on Toxapex and line up an Earthquake with Garchomp to clean up both opposing slots at once, failing to account for Grimmsnarl carrying Fake Out. Grimmsnarl priorities Fake Out into Garchomp, flinching it out of its move. Archaludon follows up with a super effective Dragon Pulse, taking Garchomp down instantly without getting a single attack off. Just like that, I'm backed into a 1v3 endgame with only Toxapex remaining. Even down 1v3, panic never sets in because Toxapex is tailor-made for this exact endgame. On turn 10, Grimmsnarl attempts to debuff me using Parting Shot to lower Toxapex's attack and special attack before rotating Milotic back into the arena. Archaludon attempts Flash Cannon, but Toxapex eats the hit with ease. A follow-up Hex from Toxapex brings Archaludon down to just 1 health. Turn 11. Archaludon hits another Flash Cannon, earning a special defense drop on Toxapex, while Milotic lands Scald. Knowing Archaludon is hanging on by a thread, Toxapex lands one final Infestation. At the end of the turn, Leftovers brings Toxapex back up to healthy numbers, while Toxic Damage whittles Milotic down, and Infestation Residual Chip officially finishes off the max defense Archaludon. Turn 12. Grimmsnarl comes back out. Knowing the opponent wants to lead with Fake Out once again, I make the exact hard read and lock in Baneful Bunker. Grimmsnarl lunges with Fake Out, makes direct physical contact with Baneful Bunker's protective shield, and inflicts itself with direct poison. Milotic's Scald bounces off the shield completely. The end of turn poison ticks down, instantly KOing Grimmsnarl and dropping Milotic to 20% health. Realizing there is no mathematical path left to break through the Poison Saintess, the opponent forfeits the match.